anabolic steroids and the side effects. Before I start, I must state that for safety, honesty and cautious reasons, the information in this video was gathered through research on the internet. I am not telling you to do anything in particular. Your choices are of your own volition. Seek medical advice for further knowledge. In some cases, steroids can be unavoidable. This depends on the required treatment needed medically and which is given by a professional. If you're prescribed these medically cleared steroids, you should follow their requirements right the way down to the last detail. Doctors also prescribe steroids for various reasons. These may be okay with instructions and the guidance of your GPs. Why doctors prescribe steroids? Corticosteroid medicines are used to treat rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, asthma, allergies, and many other conditions. They also are used to prevent organ rejection in transplant recipients. This is by helping to suppress the immune system. From skin rashes to sinusitis, corticosteroids are regularly prescribed to address a range of health issues. But while these steroids may bring much needed relief, they can cause a host of side effects, such as osteoporosis, weight gain, eye issues, and even diabetes and heart disease. Corticosteroids, such as cortisone, are tablets or liquids that doctors prescribe to help control inflammation. They're used to control conditions like asthma and lupus. These are not the same as anabolic steroids. What are the downsides of medical steroids? Steroids do not tend to cause significant side effects if they're taken for a short time or at a low dose. But sometimes they can cause unpleasant side effects, such as increased appetite, mood changes, and difficulty sleeping, in other words, insomnia. This is the most common with steroid tablets. Taking steroid tablets for less than 3 weeks is unlikely to cause any significant long-term effects, but you may get some side effects if you need to take them for longer, in a large amount, or if you need frequent courses. Now moving on to the cheat codes of the fitness and sports world. The wool pull, the dishonesty of the steroid industry, the misguidance side of things, where the not so natural natty stand out most through lies and deception. Anabolic steroids. Yeah, bang bang, shut a man down verbally. Synthetic man-made hormones. The anabolic steroid can boost the body's ability to make muscle and prevent muscle breakdown. Some athletes take steroids hoping that they will give them a run faster jet booster. Hit further, lift weights, lift heavier weights, jump higher, or have more endurance and stamina. Androstenedione, or andro, is a kind of anabolic steroid taken by athletes who want to build muscle. This is a controlled substance because of the probability of health risks if taken, and available only by prescription, or so they say. Steroid use has trickled down to the younger generations and the new gym goers also, who face the pressure to be stronger and faster. Reason being, some are misguided and don't know the side effects when used in the wrong way. Ultimately, steroids promise great results, but there is almost no actual proof that they deliver them. You may look bigger, but are you stronger? Could you say that it's naturally built weight training strength? The muscles are bloated, increased in size slightly, but is it muscle tissue or water retention? How do anabolic steroids work? The anabolic steroid is a thing that resembles the chemical structure of the sex hormone testosterone, which is made naturally by the body. When anabolic steroids increase the levels of testosterone in the blood, they stimulate muscle tissue in the body to get or grow larger and stronger. Testosterone directs the body to make or enhance male characteristics, such as increased muscle mass, facial hair growth, and the deepening of the voice, which is an important part of male development during puberty. But you should also know that the effects of too much testosterone circulating in and throughout the body can be harmful over time. Possible side effects and health problems of anabolic steroids. Yes, they might help build muscle, but these steroids can have a very serious side effect. Using them for a long time can harm the reproductive system. In males, steroids can lead to impotence, reduced sperm production in the testicles, and even smaller testicle nut size. Females who use steroids may have problems with their menstrual cycles because they can disrupt the menstruation and the release of eggs from the ovaries. This can cause long-term problems with fertility. Stunted growth in teens by making the bones mature too fast and stop growing at an early age. Liver problems and abnormal enlargement of the heart muscles. Also chances of aggressive behaviour and mood swings. Possibility of acne and the worsening of already visible acne. Increased breast tissue growth in males, especially teens. Also muscle aches on a regular basis. Stretch marks which could be reversible, and a greater probability of hair loss and baldness. People who use unsanitary equipment when taking steroids are also at risk of contracting the human immunodeficiency virus, along with other things like hepatitis, which is a liver inflammation disease, or bacterial endocarditis, an infection of the inner lining of the heart. Yes, that's right. They put out the illusion of muscle size and strength with ego-building magic tricks when pushing you towards the anabolic steroids. But a small amount of misfortune, which might not be your own doing, could have things turned upside down, health-wise, for your future. Stacking. Some people cycle their steroid intake. This means they take multiple doses of anabolic steroids over a set amount of time. They'll stop for a hot minute, and then they'll start up again. Stacking means they'll take 2 or more different anabolic steroids, a mixture, selection, or concoction of substances. Some steroid users will pyramid the intake, starting low and gradually increase the amount, frequency, and number of anabolic steroids taken. Then they'll pyramid the cycle down. A lot of people tell themselves they'll only use them for a season or just for one cycle. Unfortunately, steroids can get you like a fish on a hook, making it hard to get off and stop taking them completely. The people who do manage to stop taking steroids, they can have withdrawal symptoms, such as loss of appetite, tiredness, restlessness, insomnia, mood swings, and sometimes depression. Here's a few more. We'll start with men. Not being able to get their partner pregnant, or they hear bad news from the healthcare provider that their prostate gland has gotten bigger. You'll sometimes have pain in the joints where 2 or more bones come together and clash. You'll have muscles that feel weak but look big and swollen, a build-up of extra fluid in the body. A problem that can make the hand and the arm get weak, tingle, or lose feeling. This is called carpal tunnel syndrome. Here's one for women. They'll get a deeper voice, and treatment might not be able to change it back. So you'll go from having a feminine voice to having a masculine bass box. They'll notice that a part of their genitals called the clitoris, sweet spot, happy button, man in the boat has gotten bigger and enlarged. Some of these nicknames, eh? The happy button, the sweet spot. Excuse me. They lose the hair on their head. Sometimes it'll be a bit like alopecia, and treatment might not be able to bring it back. They'll stop getting their menstrual cycle, time of the month, or they're getting them much less often than they used to. The next set are for the human body in general, so for both male and female. So we'll have psychological factors, an increased or decreased libido, self-destructive impulses, and irritability. Depression and muscle dysmorphic disorder. Muscle dysmorphia. This is more common than you realise. It's a distorted body image. People with muscle dysmorphia have a distorted perception of their body size and muscularity, believing they are too small or not muscular enough. Hence, a lot of people want to look or seem bigger and get themselves on the steroids. This is sadly another reason why a lot of the youngsters, and sometimes grown men, get themselves onto the steroids. They want to look bigger, want to look and seem stronger, but it's all just an illusion and there's many risks to it. This can lead to compulsive actions like obsessing over diet, taking many different muscle building supplements that you see on the market, or even using steroids to achieve their desired physique. Look out for a detailed video on this mental health condition and the causes of it in the future. But in all essence, this is also another reason for people's use of anabolic steroids. The liver can be affected. Toxic effects on the liver, normally reversible, but with some permanent changes and increased risk of liver tumours. Cardiovascular side of things causes increase in bad cholesterol and decrease in good cholesterol. This is because the high cholesterol contributes to a plaque buildup in the arteries, and this is a process called atherosclerosis, as mentioned in the previous video. But again, look out in the future, I'll do a whole detailed video. There can be an increased production of blood and thicker blood, which can clot more easily. Weightlifting puts pressure on the head and the chest, and the anabolic steroids can give you high blood pressure and even irregular heartbeats. When all these come together, it can form a perfect storm that puts you at a very high chance for potential fatal heart attacks and strokes. How long is the immune system compromised after steroids? The immune system may be compromised shortly after a steroid injection, typically lasting a few days to a week. However, this can vary depending on the factors such as the type and amount of the steroid, also individual health conditions. Withdrawal from anabolic steroids. It can take up to 4 months to restore natural testosterone levels after being on these types of cycles for a long time. Is it possible to take anabolic steroids safely? The straight answer is no. However, many people will still go on and take steroids without knowing about the side effects, meaning they may not know when to seek medical advice. Make sure you're well informed if you choose to do so and know what you're taking. Some people could think they're taking a particular anabolic steroid, but they're actually taking something else. Read around the topic before jumping in. These are toxic substances which are bad for you, but these days most things are bad for you, aren't they really? Sometimes people rely on the big guy from the gym. Don't do that. Rely on the science instead. Stay healthy. You can reduce the disbelief in yourself and the urge for steroid use by staying healthy in all other aspects of your life. Forget about the steroids. Go natural. Promise you'll feel better for it. Good luck.